I had puts loaded up because in the morning it spiked and it was kind of like hovering around. It's okay. It's like all-time highs. I should buy puts. And then all of a sudden, this huge red candle and like I kind of sit in a trading Discord and everybody's like, "What's going on?" And then finally, a minute later, it's like, "Oh, Trump posted something
Yeah.
on Truth Social." And then at that time, I was like, "All right, I could chase or it might bounce back," but it just literally kept going. And then at that point, it's just like, I probably should have, but it's happened like that in the past where, you have like this huge drop and all of a sudden it V-shapes back. And I was
Yeah. And well, let's get into it. 79.
79. We're racking up the episodes.
And that decline of the market on Friday was because of Trump's announcement of
Yeah, so how could we not talk about that this week? That's the biggest news by far. What else? Also AMD, huge, huge. And then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe this is our special week of deconstructed, talking about the stock market, financial advice. None of this is financial advice.
It's for entertainment purposes only. So Friday, yep, I was mentioning as we started, everyone who is in the market knows Friday was a wild ride down for both the stock market and for crypto. And that's because Trump imposed 100% tariffs on China.
He didn't impose it, he threatened it.
Oh, he threatened it.
Yeah, it was like, so the cause of this was because China is like putting export controls, or was interpreted as using kind of their control of rare earth minerals, basically the entire world relies on, right, to produce semiconductors and just about anything. And so that's soon to take effect in November. But anyways, for some reason, Trump had interpreted what China had said in the past, that they were going to heavily restrict it and use that as leverage against everybody in order to negotiate better deals. And so he posted something on social, which basically said, how could they use that as leverage? Okay, think about what he's saying and what he's actually done. He was basically ranting against China for using their control of rare earths to basically make the world do what they want and negotiate whatever trade deals, etc. And so he was like, we're going to slap 100% tariffs on China. Like, I don't have the tweet up. I don't have that, whatever, the truths up in front of me, but it was basically, we're going to 100% tariff on China. And that just basically sent the market down.
Yeah, interesting. So when I first saw that, my immediate reaction was, all right, market decline. It's probably gonna wash out in like a week or so. Probably a good, call opportunity to take advantage of the ride back up in the next year. Because we all know Trump is not one to necessarily take action on his threats. Or if he does, it takes a very long time versus just, immediate. And so crypto was down. I think before that, the market had been rising pretty high. And
We were at all-time highs, literally,
yeah,
on the market.
what Bitcoin hit like 125, 126.
Yeah,
And then it came back down to about 105.
red high. Yep.
Yep. Ethereum was up there at like 4,600 and it came down all the way to $3,500, $1,000 in basically a day.
Yeah.
And Tesla was doing its thing and it came back down to like 418, 415. So all in all, like crazy Friday to end, but we all kind of knew this was going on. Now, I think for me, when it comes to the market, because we've been talking about how we need that pullback. Like, where is that pullback? Because the market's been going up for the last couple months here.
Yeah.
And it hasn't had that pullback of about 5 to 10% that usually is healthy. but also is needed. Does this disrupt that now, or is
I
the
don't
pullback
know.
going to happen now?
Yeah. I mean, so we were going all-time highs. Nobody really understood why the market kept pushing, right? Because all the economic signals. Oh, side note. So it was actually worse in that tweet. He basically accused China of being underhanded, going against what they were saying. And he was saying the US would impose a 100% tariff on China over and above any tariff that they are currently paying.
Mhm.
So that's really what set off. Not just 100%, it's like an additional 100% over and above everything. Anyways, so yeah, it's kind of, the market was continued to grind up, right? Even though uh, a lot of economic indicators indicate not great, right? Inflation was still not necessarily going up, but not necessarily going down. Jobs being eliminated, a lot of more unemployed people, but the market kept grinding higher, right? And then whatever, government wants to push the Fed to reduce rates, which is a way to pump the markets. And so, yeah, we're kind of stuck in this weird spot. I think it needed an excuse to sell off. And what better excuse than
More
Trump
tariffs.
than tariffs and Trump going off on probably the second biggest economy in the world, or the second most important economy in the world, I guess, in China. Um, yeah, some maybe much needed, but then again, a lot of people were probably fully invested. Literally the day before, on Thursday, there was like reports coming out that retail had dumped another 100 billion in stocks, right, on Thursday. And
Wait,
so
bought.
bought more stocks. So 100 billion more retail investors bought in on Thursday. And then you had this, whatever. We call it a
Population.
collapse, but if you look at it, right, the market is, if anybody started investing this year, right, you would be up so big that
Yeah,
this major sell-off literally takes us back 3 weeks to where we were three
you're
weeks
still
ago.
up big.
Yeah. But having said that, there were probably a lot of people who were highly leveraged in this market also because of this euphoria. And so, yeah, you see a lot of posts of people, you know, down in the hundreds, millions, especially in crypto.
That's why you sell when people are greedy
Yeah.
and buy when people are
Yeah.
fearful. Quoting Warren Buffett.
So yeah, I mean, so I think that's the question in a lot of people's mind is like, is it going to be another taco moment, right? So should you have bought the dip, which it looks like maybe you should have because
Shorting
over the
back up.
weekend, Vance is out here saying we still appreciate China trying to do damage control. Apparently, China has put out some clarifications that no, they don't intend to. I don't know that China. I feel like China news is always weird because it depends on how it's been translated, or it's people try to interpret, what the Chinese minister of commerce or whoever he is that typically posts in English. So who knows? But it looks like a taco moment. And from the lows, we're up like 10% in crypto across the board. So who knows? Which only puts us 10% away. So we're up 10% and we're 10% more away from wherever it was on Thursday night, right? So it's just like, you know,
For
mu-
crypto, that's pretty easy.
yeah, so much needed, but I don't know. I didn't buy the dip because I was like, it's just like, I'm not messing. So,
I didn't buy the dip either. Oh, I did buy the dip of crypto because I just have some money on the side that I've been
mm,
waiting for like
I
dips.
should have.
But
I was like, "Oh, I should buy some Solana here at 180, but the last time I bought Solana at 180, it went down to 120, and
yeah,
then I sold it when it got to 180, and then it went all the way to 150. Story of life.
I benefited. I was pretty disciplined. I was pretty proud of my trading in the last week or two here. So I was loading up on SPY puts for February, so kind of long out.
Oh, wow.
Just trying to like DCA into
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because we all know that a pullback is needed, and so I
Mm-hmm,
figured in the next 4 to 5 months here
mm-hmm,
we should have a pullback. So I had some a pretty good position in a 600 put for February, and then the other thing I did was I sell calls on Tesla because I do have 100 shares of Tesla.
mm-hmm.
And so about a month ago, I sold a call and made a premium on a 435 call.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole last couple of weeks, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get called away because it
Yeah.
was like getting up to like 460.
Yeah.
But it did hover around 435, around where I thought it would be. But then what happened is I think Tesla started getting bullish again to start the week.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? Do I wanna get called away, or do I just buy my calls so I can get out of it?
Yeah.
And I looked at the prices, and the premiums were so good that my original call that I sold was cheaper than when I sold it.
There's no call.
So I could buy it back and still
Yeah.
make a profit.
Yeah.
And so I was like, So then I looked at higher strike prices, about 505, 500.
Mhm.
And that was a really good premium, even though it was so far away still.
Yeah.
So what I did was I bought my callback. I
Right.
made $200 from that.
Okay.
And then I sold again. So I'm still up more than I was before.
Yeah.
Even though it's a longer period of time because now I have to wait 2 months versus 1 month.
Yeah. I mean, Tesla was down like what, $20 on Friday?
Yeah. But, in hindsight, like if I had just held it and it would have expired, I would have made my original premium.
Yeah.
And then Monday go and buy and sell another one. I would have made more. But I just didn't want to risk it, right?
Yeah.
So that was my kind of proud, disciplined moments in the last couple of weeks. I'm still loading it. It was actually getting up there until this decline. I'm loaded in TTD.
$54. Holy crap. Man, the mighty have fallen before. It's insane.
I mean, I was in DCA at like 48, 49. So,
Okay. Well, okay.
it ended flat. But, that stock is, I know it's one of on your X list, but it's bubbling. It's getting ready to go.
I'm currently messing around with the rare earth mineral companies. If you haven't, that's where the money is, which is interesting. I was like, oh yeah, I guess this was the obvious play like a couple of months ago. Trump has been pretty transparent, I guess, in what areas he is focused on. Rare earths is one of those, based off of China's control of it. And so those stocks have just been taking off across the board. Like they're like
What's your top one?
300%. I have no top one. There is right, which is basically uranium. Obviously, nuclear is another hot thing, like Oklo. We keep talking about Oklo, and that thing just like it dipped a little bit, and then man, it just like rocket shit back. I should have bought the dip. So there's your nuclear side, and then rare earth side. There's like MP is a big one, LAC, which is a lithium. There is rare earth, US.
Yeah, I've heard of USAR. Yeah.
UAMY, United States Antimony. Anyway, you could have just bought anything that dealt with rare earth and you'd probably be up like 200-300%. Of course, I'm not up that much because I'm always late to the game, but whatever. Gain is a gain. But yeah, no, so I've been messing around with minerals, rare earths, nuclear, and gold. I like an overnight in gold just because it was like down a lot. And I was like, okay, this has to bounce back. That's some gold. I mean, like $1,000.
You're giving me an idea now. I always talk about the chip stocks acronym, the Mango.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually done good. I'm gonna go research now to look for like a rare earths similar one and start DCAing into that.
They're super volatile at the moment just because like they were nothing companies. Like, as you know, all these companies are probably like at $5, $6.
Well, because, the thesis, right, is like AI we all know, is consuming so much energy.
Yeah.
This is why chip stocks are rocketing, because chips are needed to support AI, but then rare earth minerals are needed to support chips.
Right.
But also, when it comes to like the nuclear, like you said, and whatnot, like the energy consumption is pretty concerning, to where nuclear is a good solution to help make that more efficient and less pollutant.
Yeah.
And so rare earth minerals support both of that, backed by Trump's, push to bring everything back to America. It's like
Yeah.
it's not gonna go away anytime soon. But
Yeah.
some companies will go away, but the vertical is pretty lucrative
Yeah.
for putting your money in right now.
Yeah. The problem is also it makes me hesitant to try to hold long term because these companies, right, they're up so much. What happens is you'll, and you kind of see this now, is they'll put out an offering, right? Of
Yeah,
whatever.
to get money.
Yeah, like hundreds of millions or whatever. Like, what is it, quantum? It's like knock my head on the wall because of quantum. It's like quantum is huge too. It's not related, but it's an example like Ionic, IONQ. It's like one of the big quantum players. They issued like $2 billion offering, right? Because they're at all-time highs. Make no profit whatsoever. But it's things like that.
Yeah.
These offerings come out of the blue, which makes sense from a board CEO perspective. Like, hey, we're trading all-time highs. Start cashing in on this, right? So it makes it kind of tough to, but you know, according to the posts I see on Reddit and Twitter, there are a lot of newly minted millionaires this past few months. I'm not one.
Because of the rare earth investment.
Because of rare earth,
Yeah.
like all the, we'll call them meme stocks, but it's like rare earth, quantum, like the
Yeah.
rocket company, the space companies, drone companies, robotics companies, nuclear companies. It's insane how much money people are making.
Well, that's a good segue to our other story around AI and the open AI to be precise. But last time we talked about OpenAI a lot because they made some investments, they made some purchases, they launched Sora 2, which I have access to.
Yeah.
Sora. Yeah.
Like they just gave it to you?
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even get a notification. Like last night, we were talking about it at dinner, and I checked my app, and instead of showing me the invite code
Hmm.
screen, it showed me what's your username?
Okay.
So I haven't used it yet though, but I did peruse the feed and it's pretty interesting. Last time we talked about how NVIDIA was investing in OpenAI. They
Yeah.
gave them, what is it, 100 billion? And then we talked about the kind of virtuous cycle where NVIDIA invests in OpenAI and then OpenAI just buys NVIDIA's chips.
Yeah.
But Sam Altman decided to be more clever, and OpenAI has announced they're investing in AMD
Yeah.
and taking a 10% stake in AMD. So I think I had this article that I was reading where basically Jensen Huang was talking about it, and he said he was surprised that AMD would give away 10% of the company in this deal with OpenAI. And also that he was, kind of questioning the whole deal, but also acknowledged that it was clever. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that OpenAI is getting chips for cheaper from AMD, which is why they're doing this deal versus NVIDIA. But it's like with technically with NVIDIA's money. So it's kind of hilarious, but also good for chip stocks.
Wait, it's an actual 10% stake in the company? Was that
Mhm.
okay?
In equity,
Oh, in equity. Okay.
which is shares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it
I,
says, which includes a warrant granting OpenAI up to 160 million AMD shares, which is roughly 10% of the
got
company,
it. A warrant. Okay.
tied to deployment milestones for the AI chips.
Is there a strike for those warrants or are they just free warrants?
It doesn't say.
Okay, so they were got it. They were warrants.
I think, I was just reflecting on OpenAI after we talked about it last time, and I think I am sold that OpenAI is like the next company of the future. I mean, they've got the first mover
Mhm.
advantage
Yeah.
on just AI.
Yeah.
It's good. I use it every day now.
Yeah. Same here.
And last time we were talking is like they're starting to spread their tentacles into every, testing every different vertical.
Yeah.
of how it can be incorporated into like our daily life, I
Yeah.
guess, dependencies.
Yeah.
And man, when their IPO comes about, like I think it's gonna like skyrocket.
Yeah.
Now, I do say that, and so yes, I believe OpenAI is the next company that's going to start to just expand into lifestyle stuff, just like Apple, Google, etc., Facebook. And I would dare to say that they could take over some of these companies,
Yeah.
these well-known tech companies. Now, that's still underlined by my thoughts around just Sam Altman and like kind of sketchiness.
Yeah.
And dang, if this company crashes, which I don't think it will, but if it does crash, that's going to
Mhm.
be a black swan day
Yeah.
for the market.
I think you missed the key point about AMD. The stock was up like 36% after that news came out.
Hmm.
So any of you AMD holders, congrats. I remember when I had AD at like $14, like way back in the day, and I was like, hey, this thing sucks. I'm gonna sell it. AMD or Nvidia would have still been the better investment. I wasn't that. As a gamer, I feel kind of sad, but
Yeah.
it's like, why wouldn't I have bought Nvidia?
I mean, AMD, Nvidia, Intel, the US chip companies, they're holding their own. We all thought Intel was going to be done, and nope,
Nope.
yet. I
Trump,
mean,
Trump to the rescue.
yeah, I think the administration is just going to make sure that our US chip companies
Yeah.
start like have a seat at the table
Yeah.
because needed. Like Taiwan Semiconductors cannot own the market
Yeah.
from a US
Perspective.
like administration
Yeah.
perspective.
I should buy more Intel. I mean, there was that rumor a couple of weeks ago about, we talked about this in our last week episode or the week before, right? Intel's been shopping around trying to get these like in AMD to start producing their chips, right? I think that news has died off a little bit. Maybe now it's time to like, if you're gonna DCA or start a position in Intel, maybe now's the great time to do it because AMD is flush with money, and so OpenAI is also looking to stay within Trump's graces. So what better news than say, yeah, we're partnering with AMD to start building chips with Intel,
Yeah.
confirmed. So
I mean, if you're scared about like putting lots of money into one of these chip stocks, DCA. Take a year, DCA for a year.
yeah,
The next year, just cut whatever that
yeah,
$1,000 into 52,
yeah,
and then every Monday, just put that 152 portion in.
yeah,
Not financial advice. We're not CPAs, but that is what I've been doing with the Mango chip stocks
yeah.
for the last 3 years now, and it's been good.
Yeah. So that's a smart play because you can never time the top, you can never time the bottom. So you should always have cash to take advantage of these dips. And then you should also take profit when you've gained a full
Yeah,
profit too. I think that's where people make the mistake is like you don't have to sell your entire port. You just sell like whatever position, whatever lot is up significantly, right? And then you have more cash to buy the next dip. You just kind of market goes up and you kind of you're playing the whipsaw. You know, I say that, but I don't actually act on my what I say, which is kind of
I wasn't going to comment on that, Tony.
yeah. I'll call myself out. No worries.
All right. Well, I think, but from what I heard from both of us, reading between lines, Monday will probably be a green day. And then we'll see what happens after that. I think for me, I'm going to see the Monday pop, expect it to come down a little bit more. And then I think like, yeah, expect it to come down. Look at where like the next buy point is and then start to buy in then.
Monday's gonna be tough. It's gonna be either it's a bull trap or a bear trap. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. But what do you I? So let's see. What did I say? So I said rare earths. There are a couple of things. PayPal has been mentioned quite a bit, so that's been kind of like on my radar. PayPal and SoFi from a fintech perspective.
Oh, yeah. I was already in SoFi. SoFi went up huge for me.
Yeah.
I took profit on that.
SoFi, man, I sold. I had like 30 calls, but I sold them when SoFi touched 30.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm looking, SoFi is at 26.50. So hopefully if it doesn't go up too much, maybe I'll, again, the strategy we were talking about, sell when you've kind of hit a target, you have cash to buy the dips.
I exited SoFi completely because I've been holding SoFi for a long time.
Mm.
I was buying SoFi when it IPO'd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
during COVID.
Yeah.
So I exited fully, and I'm gonna wait for $18 is my price.
Do you think it'll go that low?
When we get the pullback, I think it will.
Okay. But yeah, so that PayPal has been in the doldrums, but looks like it's got interest. So I might add a little bit more there. Intel is on my kind of like list. Um, what else outside of what we talked? I think that's about it. I'm still looking for a Meta ad. Still
It
haven't
touched. I
gotten
mean, it
it.
was in the 690s last week.
I might be getting too greedy on that, like too aggressive. I was looking for it to hit under 700, and you're right, it did touch that. But then I was like, maybe 650.
Yeah, I think 680 is my. It's funny because whenever we do these price targets, I'm always a little bit higher than you.
Yeah.
680 is my probably buy point there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy a ton, like trickle. 640, 620 is probably like the big buy point for me.
Yeah. And then Tesla. You might be proud. I actually have one Tesla call.
Nice.
It's a Tesla 500C for December.
Oh, maybe I sold that.
Maybe that's what you just
Did you
sold
buy
it.
my call?
Yeah, that would be funny. But yeah,
For me, oh, good.
no, that's kind of where
For me, I've mostly been trying to like establish cash. Like I said, I'm heavy in TTD. Yeah, it's like right now, it's like, am I going to experience another moment? Is TTD going to let us down again?
Yeah.
But no, I'm heavy in TTD, and then I'm still riding Hoka.
Okay.
I'm still riding On.
Okay.
And Crocs.
So,
okay. The last like couple months here have been shifting, like rotation into tech stocks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so they rotated away from like retail stocks.
Yeah.
And so I'm just loading up in preparation to rotate back into retail stocks. And I think that's going to happen after earnings when they realize that the tariffs are maybe not impacting these retail brands as much as the market thought they would.
Wow. On is at $41. Wow. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was like, it's like at 60 or like 55 is when I was looking to buy it. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Ever since the tariffs landed, these retail stocks have declined.
Well, maybe I'll buy it if it hits like 36 again. That'll be a triple bottom at that point.
Yeah. So I've been loading in those and adding more when I see, nice price targets that I want to buy into. Yeah. Other than that, I'm just writing profits in the tech stocks like Meta, Google.
Yeah. Crocs is a triple bottom too. It looks like there's a key level here. Otherwise, you're looking at $50 maybe. Okay, maybe I'll set a price at like $50. It's too aggressive in these, man. That's why I always miss my own plays. I'm too greedy. Anyways, they've kind of like dropped off my radar. Maybe I should look at them again.
Yeah, and I'm going to take a look at rare earth because I haven't really been paying attention to the whole rare earth story. But I mean, makes sense. I'll talk about it. All right, 79 in the books.
In the books. Stock talk.
Stock decon. Stocky. All right, I'll talk to you next week, Tony.
See ya.